Hello, everyone.
Hello, Grandmaster.
Today is the fourth day of our chanting class. Today, I'll generally speak to you about Guanyin Bodhisattva and her vows. Earlier, we've learned about the sutra, titled the Sutra of Contemplation on Amitabha Buddha. The main Buddha is Amitabha Buddha. He has two attendant bodhisattvas. One is Guanyin Bodhisattva, and the other is Mahastamaprapta. For Guanyin Bodhisattva, in the sutras at that time, her figure and appearance were depicted, including the Buddha statue on her head. That's a statue of Amitabha Buddha. Guanyin Buddha actually attained Buddhahood a long time ago, and is an incredible Buddha. Right. In the Western paradise, she is assisting Amitabha Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Sakyamuni Buddha in the sutras, especially in the Lotus Sutra, left us chapter 25, Pu Men Ping. It's a very auspicious scripture and includes a general description of Guanyin Bodhisattva. I won't read the original scripture to you, but only briefly explain it. My purpose is that you chant Guanyin Bodhisattva's holy name with a deeper understanding of her and receive more blessings in your heart. If you treat Guanyin Bodhisattva as an ordinary woman, you'll only receive an ordinary woman's blessings. If you see her as a common divine being, you'll receive a common divine being's blessings. If you revere her as a Buddha, you'll receive a Buddha's blessings. If we obtain such powerful blessing, what's the benefit for us? If Buddhas and Bodhisattvas have a good impression of you, you'll have great prosperity in the world. Just like that. It's good for us. That's the significance of today's teaching. Guanyin Bodhisattva, especially when she came to our Chinese areas, is in the image of a female. Among the great achievers in the traditional Hinduism of the past and the early stage of Buddhism, the females in their current life were not able to achieve ultimate perfect enlightenment. It's because of their gender, just as this one in front of us today. A male image of Guanyin Bodhisattva statue is considered to be the authentic image of Guanyin Bodhisattva in Buddhism. How did the female image statue come about? My understanding is very simple. It's because Guanyin Bodhisattva obtained Buddha's all-compassion. And in the human world, she symbolizes many beings, such as our mothers, all mothers. To the children, their mother is the Buddha. They carefully look after their children. After having their children, no mother has slept tightly and soundly a single night. Especially in the first 10 years, the weaker our self-care ability, the more our mother worries about and cares for us. Even if we're 30 or 60 years old, as long as our mom is still alive, she'll remember everything about us, even the smallest details in our life. So a mother's love is like a bodhisattva. What's the difference between a bodhisattva and a mother? A bodhisattva takes care of all beings as her own children. One who has such all-compassionate love is a bodhisattva. So in Buddhism, especially Guanyin Bodhisattva, is renowned for compassion comes first. To be all-compassionate, she looks for the sound of crying for help. Yin means the crying for help, and Guanyin Bodhisattva keeps listening to find the crying. She is always looking for the sound of that crying for help. Whoever is suffering and has the need, she'll be helping. That's it. In the sutras, the Buddha said that when we encounter all kinds of dangers such as fire, if your house is on fire, you can chant Guanyin Bodhisattva's holy name. Of course, you must look for the way out and chant at the same time. The Buddha said that you won't be burnt by the fire. If you fall into the water due to severe flooding or by accident, immediately you chant to Guanyin Bodhisattva, and maybe you'll drift to shore and won't drown. Chanting can also solve various problems in today's world. We either drive on the road or take public transportation. We have lots of fast transportation and vehicles. Especially for people who drive daily, they know that if you lose focus for a split second, if you didn't sleep well, or get distracted, dangerous things could happen. Maybe you'll have a car accident or drive into the river. When there are too many fast cars on the road, there are more traffic accidents. In each city, every day, there are numerous such traffic accidents. In each city, every day, there are people dying in these accidents. When we chant the holy name of Guanyin Bodhisattva, yes, we'll receive her protection. Sometimes, in just a flash, a car accident happens at the very moment. If you receive the protection, usually the car will be ruined, but you won't be hurt. Of course, this isn't a joke, and don't test it. But when these problems really happen, and you get Guanyin Bodhisattva's blessing, usually you'll be safe and auspicious. When taking all the public transportation, including airplanes and ships, you have to be careful. When encountering all kinds of dangers, especially natural disasters, earthquakes, and also volcanoes in some countries, right, for some people who have the habit of chanting, before the disaster happens, you may have a feeling and start to prevent it from happening. You may avoid the disasters. Also, some may stay away from imprisonment. When a person is in bad luck, that is being unlucky. It's easy to get into all kinds of true or false lawsuits. In a divorce, if the couple doesn't agree, they may file a lawsuit. Unclear business conflicts can also lead to lawsuits. All kinds of reasons can cause all kinds of lawsuits. Sometimes, even if you've spent all your savings in a lawsuit, you don't win the case. What to do? Pray to the Buddha. The ancient criminal laws and the legal system were not sound. What about nowadays? The same. Sound or not, people will support the one they're in favor of, right? If the judge has pity on you at that moment, you're not guilty even if you are, right? When matters are governed by laws measured by humans, there will be many emotional storylines. That could cause the same situations to end up with completely different verdicts. Some are sentenced to death at once, some are fine, with 2 years probation and no need to be in jail. All kinds of cases with all kinds of situations. What else? One may encounter dangers without knowing the reason. Say, others harm you with poison or kill you. People try to harm you by all means. But they can't hurt you. In ancient times, there were many such stories. For some reason, one would set out poison, or set up traps to kill another person. If one was lucky enough to have Bodhisattva's blessing, one could stay away from these harms. Also, just like in the movies, when you want to drink the soup, a kitten comes to flip it over. Too many examples. Also, the poison drink may fall because of someone passing by. Most of such cases are examples of the deity saving you. All of a sudden, your bowl falls, so you won't drink the poisoned soup. Too many such miraculous examples. When Buddha is protecting you, everything is good. And fraud cases such as telephone frauds and web frauds are very rampant. The existence of phone and internet mean lots of legal loopholes for the fraud groups. For example, this person is in an Asian country, and this country is not big, right? Say, I'm in Malaysia, and I cheated a person in Thailand. Since the victim is in Thailand, the Malaysian police can't charge me. They don't even know, because no one reports to them. Even the victim doesn't know who the cheater is and from what country, right? Even if it's exposed, the Malaysian police could say, he doesn't commit crimes in our country. We have no reason to arrest him. Nowadays, it's even easier for the swindlers to commit frauds. Before, they had to do it in person. Now, they do it through the phone and internet, right? The elderly may be more vulnerable to fraud due to a lack of social experience and awareness. The swindlers are good at made-up stories, tailored to your age and emotional needs. They also analyze the potential victim and use many wicked and evil ways to cheat you until you give them all your money. That's it. But if you have Buddha's blessings, you'll recognize the swindlers. Now, Buddha is also blessing you, letting me tell you. Before answering a phone call, think about whether it's a fraud. Be careful and prepared. I see that many got cheated online. Most cases are relationship related. Their ultimate target is to cheat you out of your money. There is a man or woman who is quite good looking, talking to many people at the same time online like lovers. The purpose is to steal money. There are lots of these cases. I solved the case more than 10 years ago. A disciple in the States, who still feels guilty now, was told that she'd won $100,000 from a big consortium in Hong Kong. She said she would share half with me if she got the money. I said, I've never done this. You have doubts too, right? I was curious, and I wanted to investigate. Finally, I solved the case in 3 days. It was a swindler. I even pushed the man to speak in his Shandong dialect. It was all lies. I caught his loopholes and pushed him to tell the truth. Finally, the disciple believed that they were the perfect swindlers. Even the website design looked like the real site. She didn't realize that swindlers can't ever be legitimate. Only those without experience will be cheated. So we need the Buddha's blessings. First, Buddha's blessings can help you avoid being defrauded. Second, don't be greedy. My friends, don't be greedy. Many people got defrauded because they believed they'd won a fortune. For this reason, they thought it was so great and wouldn't tell anybody. In Canada, an old lady had a son who was a lawyer specializing in criminal cases. The old lady told me, "You know, my son is a lawyer." "Yes, you're so smart. No one can cheat you. Even though I'm your master, I could be cheated by you. Who wouldn't be?" Actually, no, I was cheated. Yes, she was told she had won a fortune, and it was so reasonable. She thought she was really lucky. Her son was a lawyer, so everyone would be afraid. She said, "Well, I have to tell my son this good news. He's a lawyer." The swindler said, "All right. But your prize will expire in 5 minutes. Okay, what info do you need?" And she told everything. The swindler, in just 10 minutes, stole over $100,000 from her account. That's it. So, don't be greedy. How can there be so many kind corporations and nice people suddenly? You don't even know them, and they give you so much money without a reason. Don't take advantage. Seeing others' nice clothes, you assume they're rich people. You recognize they carry a handbag worth over $100,000 and wear a pair of luxury shoes. The more you know, the easier you will be cheated. Don't be greedy. If you don't work hard to earn it, it's not yours. Keep this in mind. I'm not capable, as long as I have food to eat. I won't be extravagant or greedy. You'll feel very happy. If you're greedy, the $1 million that you earned by working hard will easily be gone overnight. Your greed will lead to your loss. The swindler tends to scam a greedy person. A scam is actually a trial for you in your life. Other than the Buddha's blessing, I must warn you that if you're greedy, even the Buddha can't protect you because of your greed. Also, there are thieves or robbers. Besides being careful, you shouldn't flaunt your wealth. Even if you're rich, don't wear flashy stuff. The robbers are usually slow-witted. They don't even have the wisdom to steal. And they use a rod to beat you, taking away what they see. Since you dress too well, even if your bag is empty inside, your bag makes them think you're rich. Usually, inside the expensive bags, there's no money. Yes, remember this. So, you must protect yourself and watch what you wear and say. For those who publicly boast about being wealthy, just ignore them, as they're not. The really rich people won't brag about their wealth. Right, remember this. But if you really encounter a robber, chant to Guanyin Bodhisattva in your heart. Sometimes, if you chant aloud, the sound itself can deter the robber and stop him from robbing. Because many thieves and robbers also worship the Buddha after robbing. They also chant to Guanyin Bodhisattva. They may say, "Since we believe in the same God, fine, I won't rob you." He may be deterred. Robbers may be caught anytime, so they also pray for the blessings. Furthermore, to bless, especially to protect you from what is called a nightmare. That means you always see or dream of the ghosts or evil beings. You must chant often, and it'll be fine afterward. These are all the blessings. Extra blessings for us could give us the wisdom to pass an exam successfully, find a satisfying job, or find a suitable spouse with good looks and character. Also, son delivering Guanyin is well known. Guanyin Bodhisattva is in the image of a female. A female holding a baby is absolutely reasonable. So, if you dream of Guanyin Bodhisattva delivering a kid, you'll get a precious son. As long as a married woman dreams of Guanyin sending her a baby, she'll get pregnant and have a good son. The son will be excellent in all aspects. That's it. It's very effective. I remember one thing happened around 1996 when I was in Guangdong. At that time, a mother brought her child to see me and said, "Master, this is a Bodhi baby. Thank you." The baby was a month old. I said, "Oh, I was too busy traveling around the country. Why don't you share your story of having this child?" This couple was almost 40 years old. Maybe the man was 39 and the wife was 37. Their parents were so eager to have grandchildren. They'd been married for 10 years and never got pregnant. They underwent medical exams. The wife was found to have ovarian blockages. Thus, she couldn't get pregnant. They'd been to at least 60 hospitals and doctors all over the country. Whatever place offered a chance of help, they'd go there. They both ended up taking medicine. Some said it was the man's issue, others said it was the wife's. Finally, both of them had to take medicine daily. One day, their mother came with the couple. They didn't look too young, maybe in their 30s, and they looked exhausted. I smelled the scent of Chinese herbal medicine on them. They looked sick. It was around the time of Guanyin Bodhisattva's birthday, just after the Chinese New Year. I blessed them. I used Bodhisattva's light and the 6-syllable mantra to bless them by touching their heads. I remember touching this woman, and she got pregnant later. She had no children then. I touched her tummy and said, "Well, let's see if you're lucky." After that, the lady was very diligent. We didn't have a center yet, and we went everywhere. Wherever we conducted classes, the mother would buy a plane ticket and join us to volunteer. We were so busy and forgot about this story. She was following us for about maybe the 2nd or 3rd year. I don't remember. Anyway, about 2 or 3 years later, her daughter-in-law got pregnant and gave birth to a chubby baby who looked very much like her son. That means she had a grandson. The baby was born big and strong. He weighed about 4 kilograms when he was born. Well, since her daughter-in-law got pregnant, the whole family focused on feeding her with the best food, and she became chubby too. Right, so it's truly effective. Actually, a doctor had told her that it was almost impossible for her son to have a baby. The couple tried everything and took a lot of medicine. Basically, they were considered to be infertile. That's it. At that time, her son looked dull and exhausted, without vitality. It was very bad, right? He looked fat, but it was the fake fat caused by the Chinese medicine. I wasn't optimistic either, but I had faith. So I used Guanyin Bodhisattva's energy and the 6-syllable mantra to bless her. This should be effective. I also prayed for their business to be smooth sailing. Sometimes, human wisdom can't fully understand and control the business we run. So we constantly need the care of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. The wealth in the world can be allocated to anybody. If the gods and Buddhas like you and have a good impression of you, they'll give you a drop of nectar. Maybe prosperity and riches just come to you. Especially for our female Bodhi disciples. Whoever marries our female disciples will be very fortunate. All Bodhi female disciples will benefit their husband. Those who marry them will definitely become rich. Thus, those who have a good heart and fate will have a prosperous family and career in the future. So you should chant the holy name of Guanyin Bodhisattva frequently. Also, make light offerings and chant often. Making offerings to Guanyin Bodhisattva at festivals is even better. In the sutras such as Pu Men Pin, Inexhaustible Awareness Bodhisattva asked the Buddha and learned about Guanyin Bodhisattva, who is all-compassionate and everywhere, with limitless manifestations in countless embodiments. She has so many sacred manifestations and wonderful abilities, so we have the 1,000-armed and eyed Guanyin. It means limitless manifestations in countless images. She's compassionate and constantly helping people every day. Buddha said that any sentient beings who make offerings to Guanyin Bodhisattva will be truly lucky and fortunate. Inexhaustible Awareness Bodhisattva was the one who asked the Buddha, and he immediately offered the precious pearl necklace on his neck to Guanyin Bodhisattva. The compassionate Guanyin Bodhisattva refused to take it. The Buddha tried to convince her, "Guanyin, please have compassion for him. Have mercy on the sentient beings and have compassion for him for being so sincere. If you accept it, you're giving him the chance to do good deeds." Guanyin Bodhisattva listened to the Buddha and accepted it. After that, she divided the necklace into 2 halves, offering 1 half to Sakyamuni Buddha and the other half to Buddha's treasure pagoda. An enlightened Buddhist cultivator, a self-cultivator that keeps the precepts, and even one who has achieved Buddhahood or Bodhisattva status, shouldn't have even a tiny bit of greed for the materials in the human world. You treat it as a treasure, but to them, it's just a brick. No difference. He has no desire. Even if it's precious, he won't be greedy. That's it. So, if a Bodhisattva accepts your offerings, she's letting you do good deeds. We should chant and cultivate often. After chanting Guanyin Bodhisattva's holy name for a long time, our energy and ability will get the blessing and become stronger. Also, let me remind you again that you must do more good deeds to eliminate your past bad karma. Bad karma results from your wrongdoings. It's negative energy. Chanting helps increase positive energy. Also, 4 other meditation practices I taught you, such as the greater illumination and the different kinds of chanting methods. Prostration and energy bhagwa, you have to practice. When your life energy becomes stronger, your destiny can also be changed and become better. You should know that. I remind you again, according to physiognomy, the complexion of those who are prosperous, especially the eyesight. The eyesight is so bright and sharp, right? I've compared with the bad guy's eyesight. It's just the opposite. That's why I must remind you to cultivate. Do more good deeds, and transform your entire life energy. From negative to positive. From a life of debts to a life with lots of savings. Right. Your energy becomes stronger. When you're stronger, everything becomes easier. If you don't have such energy. To be frank, many people. For example, your uncle is the boss or general manager of a company. The business is worth several billions of US dollars. You, as a nephew, want to work in his company even as a small manager. But after he talks with you, he decides not to use you. I can give you some money. Don't work for me because you can't do it. You can't even take care of yourself or get up on time in the morning. Why? Firstly, when your eyes are cloudy and your skin is dull, your life is disorganized. You're a lazy person. You lose control of your behavior. You can't even do what a basic human should do. How can you manage others, a company, or even run a business? It's not easy. When you see those high-ranking managers, their eyes are sharp and bright. It's simple and not a secret to me. I remind you of this. Maybe you think it's a secret. From now on, you know that for rich people who have power, their eyes are very bright. Of course, thieves' eyes are bright too, but their eyes are flickering like the eyes of mice. They always avoid eye contact with others. So, by cultivation, doing good deeds and chanting to Guanyin Bodhisattva, we can change our energy into stronger positive energy. Our destiny will be changed too. I always receive letters from our friends online, asking me to help them find a job, a good spouse, a good school, etc. It's very easy for me to help you find a good school, but you would feel pain once you enter a good school and find you're the worst student. So, you must improve yourself and have enough energy. When you're not the worst and, say, you get into a good school, you can get an average score and won't feel ashamed. If you're the worst, you can't catch up. The teacher may kick you out of the class, and you'll feel ashamed. You must understand this principle. Cultivating and doing good deeds will truly transform your fate. When you have a good fate, I'll be happy. The Buddha will be happy too. We all have so many loved ones around us, such as our parents, grandparents, brothers and sisters, uncles and aunts, and so many relatives and friends. I hope that you can live with gratitude for all our families, our loved and beloved ones, and those who have helped us. Let's chant the holy name of Guanyin Bodhisattva and send them the auspiciousness we gain. Compared to giving them a big sum of money, it's much more genuine and auspicious. Such auspiciousness can turn into all beautiful things. When you chant, whoever is in your mind will get the blessings. Okay. Let's chant with utmost sincerity. 南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨， 南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨。
南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨， 南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨， 世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观 观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南 世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南 南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨， 南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨。 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 世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨。
All right. Rub your hands. Then lightly rub your face. You're back to when you were 6. Each of you is a little chubby kid. Very chubby. Your face is like an apple. Although many of you are now mature, your faces are like big apples. You're really lovely little apples when you're small. Okay, pull your ears. If you have time during the day, you can chant for an hour or 2. It's very good. If you know how to practice Energy Bhagwa, don't forget to practice either in the morning or at night, for at least an hour a day. Why should we give this time? An hour of practice will let us live 1 more year. Isn't this a good thing? This time is worth giving. When one is getting older, it often starts in the legs. Before you get really old, your legs become weak and can't walk very well. You even get scared going up or down the stairs. What to do? Please come to practice Energy Bhagwa. After practicing for a month, you'll see the effect. When you get the benefit, you'll walk much easier. After practicing for a year, you'll walk fast, even your children can't catch up with you. It's like you're flying. 2 years ago, an 80-year-old man followed us for 3 months. Then his children visited, and they went walking in the park. They couldn't catch up with him and asked him to slow down. It sounds like a joke, but it's just amazing. It's all because of our amazing Dharma. Buddha Dharma is not theological theory, but a method. Just like a prescription. Right. You take cold medicine for a cold and heart medicine for a heart problem. The method must meet our needs. Right. So the method is very important. Don't forget to cultivate. Don't forget the grace of our parents' upbringing. We must respect and care for them. We must not be fake. doing things like suddenly washing their feet to show off. But be truly reverent. Take the time to chat or walk with them. Cook a meal for your parents. Right. Chat with them and give them a massage. These things are the most fortunate things. One day, this scene will become your happiest memory forever. All right, that's all for today. Wishing you auspiciousness,
Received.
health and longevity,
Received.
a happy family.
Received.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you, Grandmaster.
Now it's time for our closing exercise. Rub your palm until they're warm. Glide your palms over your face from chin to forehead to cheek without actually touching them. Rub your palms until they're warm. Part your fingers and firmly comb your hair from forehead to the back of the neck. Rub your palms. Pat your entire body from top to bottom. Pat your head firmly with relaxed wrists. Do it calmly. Pat your left shoulder. Then pat your right shoulder. Continue to pat your chest. Then pat your left armpit down to the side of your rib cage. Switch to the right. Pat your right armpit down to the side of your rib cage. Next, pat your abdomen with relaxed hands. Please stand up slowly. Pat down from the front of your thighs, knees, shins, ankles, and tops of your feet. Gently pat the lower back. Down to the buttocks. Down to the back of your thighs. Calves, ankles, and heels. Continue to pat the inside and outside of your legs. Start with your left leg. Relax your wrists and pat with slight force. Then pat your right leg. Continue to pat your arms. Start with your left arm. Then pat your right arm. After patting your entire body, rub your palms. Gently massage your whole body without actually touching it. Visualize that you are gently sweeping away the dust and worries. You are becoming healthy and happy. At the same time, think, I'm closing this meditation practice.
Today's class has successfully completed. See you tomorrow.
在茫茫人海之中，让我与您相遇。小小的红点里，人生就此欢喜。我快乐了，我健康了，我幸福了。